To make sure that you're working with people who have a real vision.
You have not seen what I have seen.
But the thing that is essential is to have someone who has an incredible take on a world.
Are you serious?
So the head of Amazon Global TV, Vernon Sanders, did an interview with Deadline yesterday, and I read it and I was in shock. I couldn't believe he was talking about the same show that I had witnessed over 8 tremendously bad episodes. But not so much that. The reaction that this guy spoke about was something so far removed from what the consensus were for this show. This interview was filled with an incredible amount of delusion, propaganda, gaslighting. I'm going to read into this article. I'm going to touch on how the actor who played N.B.R left the show and why he left the show. Before I get into it, if you could hit subscribe and maybe share out the video, I'd really appreciate that. So yeah, this article was completely and utterly shocking to me, and I was kind of scanning around the internet today to try find some sort of reaction for it, and I came across this article here, and it's pretty good. Amazon touts a tremendous success of Rings of Power, yet still won't disclose viewership numbers. And this is the first thing that I thought when I was reading Vernon Sanders' interview. I was thinking, where are you pulling these numbers out of? And according to Sanders, it was a massive gamble to put this show into production, but it has paid off exponentially. Apparently, proceeded to talk about how this was the most watched first series of a TV show ever, apparently.
What?
And that Amazon were receiving millions and millions of people just in the last month turning to the streaming service to watch the Rings of Power. This is what he said. Sanders called the Rings of Power a powerhouse for us, a tremendous success. But despite supposedly being a massive hit, Amazon have been suspiciously quiet on viewership numbers. According to the company, 25 million viewers tuned into the premiere, while Amazon studio head Jennifer Salk is on record at stating that we're cresting towards 100 million customers having watched it. Now the data is very vague on this. The only metric that we can turn to is the Nielsen metric, and just taking in the information that can be acquired from that specific data, it looks like the show was losing viewers week to week. The longer this show went on, the less people were watching it. So how that equates to being a massive powerhouse tremendous hit, I'll never know.
That's stupid.
So what we got was mainstream media en masse doing various puff pieces on how this show was the most watched show in history and the most expensive show in history, and that it was a total and utter success. And that wasn't echoed when we went onto social media or when you spoke to people in person about this show. Not even close. If you were to turn to Rotten Tomatoes, you would see that 89% of critics gave this positive feedback, that this was an absolute hit when it came to the critics. But when you looked at the audience score for this thing, it was 39, and that was being extremely generous. It's also unclear whether Amazon intends to address any genuine concerns over the quality of this show going into season 2. As showrunner JD Payne said in the Variety puff piece yesterday, which I covered, the cake was kind of baked before the audience response even came in. And that brings us back to this article here and to the puff piece that we did the other day with the showrunners, where there was no honest interaction with fans to be had or with audience scores or anything like that. It was kind of based within an echo chamber of Variety says that this is a really great show. The head of Amazon is telling us this is the best show that's ever been made, and now we're telling you, shut up with the criticism, this is what you're getting, and the script is already in place. So that's kind of where you're at with it. So you have a cognitive dissonance situation going on here, where you're looking at the product, you're not enjoying the product, but you're being told that it's the best thing that you've ever seen by the showrunners, and you're being told it's the best thing that you've ever seen in every single media outlet. And with everything in life, it takes fortitude to stand up and say, no, I don't agree with you. I'm not going to play along, I'm not going to conform, and I'm going to say it as I see it. Your show is trash. That's the way it is. And again, there's so many red flags that pop up where people should be getting the message that this is garbage. And again, this new story broke today where Joseph Mall, the actor who played N.B.R, actually physically left the show to go to another show. So he received an alternate offer of a show, which by virtue of the fact that he left must have been a superior offer. So what does that say about what this actor thinks about Rings of Power season 1 or season 2? And again, this is completely transparent. It's right there in front of your eyes. Amazon Prime TV are running cover for this show. The showrunners are just playing along. They have no experience, as Vernon said in this interview. They have no experience on how to shoot a big show like this. Okay, well, whatever that means, but we're going to gaslight everyone into thinking that it's a brilliant show, a powerhouse of a show, and season 2 is going to be even better. Let me know what you think down below. Let me know if you think that the actor Jason Mall bailed like a rat off a sinking ship because he knew that this was a trash fire. Let me know if you think Vernon Sanders is actually lying to himself, or is he just lying to us. Drop a comment and I'll talk to you in the next one. Cheers.